What's up, you guys? It's Layla Lynn, and I'm back with another video. In this video, I wanted to talk about a question that I see a lot of people asking. Whenever Sherri Shepherd refers to her son, people want to know, what about the other son, the son that she doesn't claim? Whatever happened to the son that she had with her second husband, Lamar Sally? Whatever happened to him? And does she pay child support for him? Like, what is going on with him? Whatever happened with that situation? So we're going to explore that in this video. But first, if you're watching and you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe, because I know if you're watching today, then you've watched this channel before. So go ahead and subscribe, and everyone click the thumbs up button and turn on your notifications so you never miss another video. All right, ladies. So before we get too deep into the tea, I want to give you all an invitation to join myself and Clary. Clary's a woman that's been on my channel before. She has a podcast called the Work It Lady Podcast, and it's work it as in work out. Work out, ladies. Get healthy. On March 30th, she has a group coaching class that is starting, and I'm inviting you all to join. I will be in the class, and we will be doing it together. So I'll leave a link below this video so you can join, so you can find more information, so you can join, and so you can do whatever it is you need to do to be ready to join by March 30th. All right, guys. So this question came up when Jonathan Majors was on the Sherri Shepherd television show, and she said that she wanted her son to look to Jonathan Majors as a role model. It was really weird. It was really weird because she was crying and talking to Jonathan Majors as if he was his character in the movie Magazine Dreams. Now, if you're familiar with Magazine Dreams, you know that the character seemed to be neurodivergent. He was neurodivergent, possibly on the spectrum, but she was talking to Jonathan Majors as if he was neurodivergent and possibly on the spectrum. And maybe he is. Maybe as a mother, she can see that in him. Because me, as a mom with a neurodivergent child, like, I can see actions in other adults that remind me of my child. So I don't know if she can see that in him, and that's why she was crying and talking to him about her son, or if she really was just confusing him and his character. But it was just a really weird moment. It was a really weird moment, and a lot of people noticed it. So people had questions about her other son. Whatever happened to your other son? Like this person who said, weird, considering number one, she don't really GAF about her son. I think that's a reference to the other son. Number two, she admitted that her son doesn't like Black women, which I researched. That was actually on The Breakfast Club. She talked about that in a July 2018 interview on The Breakfast Club. And she shared that her 13-year-old son, Jeffrey, that's the only one she talks about, expressed a preference for white girls, describing Black girls as mean. And she explained that Jeffrey attends a predominantly white school and has had challenging interactions with the few Black girls there. She's talking about all of this on the radio, public conversation. She said, quote, he came in and he said, "Mommy, I like white girls. And the little Black girls get mean with him." She said she further elaborated that some Black girls at his school, quote, don't want to speak, and sometimes they act crazy, which confuses Jeffrey. And she mentioned attempting to encourage these girls to be more approachable so that Jeffrey might feel comfortable interacting with them. So in any case, this person went on to say, number three, according to Sherri, she thinks Megan Thee Stallion is a bad role model, but invites Jonathan Majors, the woman harmer, on her show and wants her son to be like him. It was incredible, you guys. It was incredible, and not in a good way, to see her fawn and cry over Jonathan Majors, who is admitted to putting his hands around a woman's neck. To see her fawn and cry over him was incredible. But in any case, people are still bringing up her other son. Somebody else said, if Sherri Shepherd, this is in reference to the whole situation with Nia Long. Someone said, if Sherri Shepherd thinks the culture will be on her side in a battle of Nia versus Sherri, girl, Nia has never denied any of her kids. Okay, she got two sons, and she admits she has two sons. I would have just taken this to the grave. This won't help us not call Sherri a Jonathan Majors apologist. And then they posted a video of Nia Long looking beautiful as always. And you know what? A lot of people, when it comes to beauty, beauty is like a defense mechanism. If y'all don't know that, your beauty can be a defense mechanism. And that's why you see women like Nia Long grabbing people, turning them around, spinning them around like a cartoon. And then people defend her. Same thing with Portia. Portia attacks people and people still defend her. And a lot of times it has to do with beauty. So you definitely want to keep up with your beauty. Below my video, I have a link to one of my planners. It's a digital planner basically to keep up with yourself, to keep up with your beauty, like your self-care. It's like mostly your physical beauty, to keep up with your skincare, your hair care, things like that. Because as women, and especially as wives and mothers, we can forget about things like that. But people treat you according to how you look. So you can be the world and do the world, even for your man. Like you can be the world to your husband. But if you fall off in the looks department, he's going to treat you like you fell off. So it's just like a reminder to keep up with yourself. So make sure you check that out below this video. And someone posted a link to an article. Lamar Sally, Sherri Shepherd's second ex-husband, has been very vocal about the child they share. And they said, according to Sherri Shepherd, abandoning children and putting your hands around women's necks is okay, but dressing promiscuously is wrong. And then they put an asterisk. She still hasn't met her son after abandoning her husband during the surrogacy process. Now, her husband did have a lot of issues on her end. She says that she was manipulated into having a son, into having a child via surrogacy with her ex-husband. She says it was manipulation. Now, this is from a lawyer's website, and it's like an example of like case law. It set a precedent for what to do in the middle of a surrogacy when there's a divorce and one of the parents no longer wants the child. And they say to understand the complexities of Sherri Shepherd's surrogacy saga, one must travel upstream to the source of it all, a surrogacy agreement forged in hope but shattered by conflict. And so basically they explain that this is all based on an agreement, like there was a written legal agreement for the child. She signed it, her husband at the time signed it like it was a legal agreement. They say a bitter divorce and a disputed surrogacy contract. Shepherd and Lamar Sally's gestational surrogate, Jessica, was well into her pregnancy by the time Sherri Shepherd's desire to retreat from the arrangement became clear. So it went from courtroom to courtroom. The case crisscrossed the country, touching courtrooms in Pennsylvania, California, and New Jersey. And each court faced the daunting task of interpreting the legal ramifications of gestational surrogacy, where the child's biological mother and birth mother are not the same person, and the legal mother's identity hinges on contractual intent rather than blood ties, because it was his sperm, but it was not her egg. It was not her egg. And so Sherri Shepherd's attorneys argued that the surrogacy agreement should be voided, citing her changed circumstances, which would be the divorce, and lack of biological connection to the child. And her legal team contended that she had been misled into the agreement and should not be bound to parenthood post-divorce. So that's the question. Saying that you were misled in a court of law is basically saying that your ex-husband committed fraud to get you to sign the surrogacy agreement. Now, that may have happened, that may not have happened. It may have been fraud, it may not have been fraud, but the court did side with Lamar Sally. The court sided with him because of the legal agreement. They say it was a pivotal ruling by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, and the judges, plural, sided with Lamar Sally, determining that Sherri Shepherd was indeed the legal mother despite not contributing her own egg. And so it set a legal precedent. And from what we know, like he was awarded child support. Sherri Shepherd was required to pay child support and was listed as the legal mother of the baby, who by now was known as Lamar Sally Jr. And from what we know, she's still paying child support, allegedly. This is all allegedly, but there are reports that she pays $4,000 a month in child support for this baby that she commissioned prior to her divorce from Lamar Sally Jr. Now, I did look up Lamar Sally. I didn't see that he had any other children. I know that he's presented as a gold digger. He might be a gold digger. He might be like Dennis, like a groupie. He might be, but I don't see that he has any other children. So it does seem that he really wanted a child. Like maybe it wasn't just about getting child support from Sherri Shepherd. Maybe he really did want a child. I don't know. Y'all leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think. But he has done interviews. Like this is with Radar Online. He has done interviews and spoken out about Sherri Shepherd abandoning. Well, you really can't say abandoning because she does pay child support. But he's spoken out about her not being physically present in that son's life and that son having an illness. He said he's sick and calls other women mama. Now, this was back in 2016 when she was trying to file an appeal. But they say that she has to pay child support to her ex-husband, Lamar Sally, as she continues to fight the legal system, and that the son has a disease called G6PD. Now, I've never heard of that, but they say it's a hereditary abnormality in the activity of the red blood cell enzyme. Lamar Sally said, quote, "We have to get tested again to see how severe it is." And at the time in 2016, he was working on a reality show about his life as a single dad. Now, y'all know that would be horrible. If he had a reality show about his life as a single dad with a baby by Sherri Shepherd, that would be horrible for Sherri. That would truly be horrible. But in any case, I just wanted to give you guys an update on whatever happened to the other son that Sherri Shepherd commissioned while she was still married to her ex-husband, Lamar Sally, and that she changed her mind about. I do believe she felt misled. I do think she felt misled. But at the same time, you have to speak up at the time. Like if you feel misled, don't sign the legal agreement commissioning the child. Like if you feel misled, speak up and say, "I feel misled. I don't want this." I think you have to speak up at the time. But y'all leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think about the situation. And as always, thanks for watching. If you made it this far to the end of the video, then I think you like my content. So make sure you subscribe and check out my channel. I have over 1,000 videos on my channel. Check out my playlists and my podcasts, and I assure you, you will like more of my content.